Attention.
You are listening to the Pathfinder Guru Podcast. Sharpen your leadership, reach excellence. Faith needs action.
Welcome to the Pathfinder Guru Podcast, and thank you very much for joining us. I hope that you're doing well, you are fine under the shadow of God's wonderful wings. This is our first ever episode in the year of 2026. I hope that you have entered well into the new year, fresh and ready to tackle all the things that come in the Adventist Youth Ministries. Let us learn from our mistakes that we have done, our successes as well, so that we can improve and become better leaders, not only for our children, but also for us, so that we can be better people in the community and in the societies that we are in. In today's episode, we are going to talk about something that is important that we need in our clubs. It is very much important because I'm going to make an example with the Pathfinder Club, but it is as equally important whether your child or your young person is an ambassador, a Pathfinder, or an adventurer. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of parents in the club. We take it lightly, but it is very much important. And we're going to get into the dynamics there of it. We're going to talk about parents seeing the value of them being part of the club, and also some of the mistakes that we make that sometimes make our parents not to support us the way we want to be supported. I wanted to start with this in the first episode of the year, because I think if we get this one right, then we'll have the sufficient and complete support that we need from parents. I often say this. I want you to ask yourself this question. What ministry were you in when you were growing up? I want you to do a self-introspection. I want you to list the things that you have did, the places that you have went, camporees, the Pathfinder fairs, the activities, and all of those things. And I want you to compare it to the child that God has given you in your club today. Are you doing justice? Is they a same standard or even higher than what you had? I want you to compare those particular things. What did you enjoy most? And how did it help to shape you to who you are today? And ask yourself this question to say, is this what I've learned? Is this the experiences that I've got? Is this the same things that the children are benefiting? Because we need to come to a point whereby we offer the children the same excitement, the same experiences, the same exposure that we've got at a time like this. If ministry helped shape us and guide us and grounded us spiritually, what has changed that sometimes make spiritual programs harder to prioritize today? It is easy to take a child to a school excursion. It is easy to support mainstream schooling because there are requirements. There is a standard that you must follow. Yes, in the ministry are much more lenient, I would say. But why is it? Is it harder for you as a parent, for you as an adult who was once a Pathfinder, once an adventurer, hard to prioritize this ministry today? You are the one that is in the church board. You are the one that is in the church positions. You understand the benefits of being in this ministry, and they have made you who you are today. But what are you doing about it? when there's less support, when there's less care, when there's a lot of things not going their way, when they're struggling to meet basic requirements of just achievement classes, and you are there and you understand the benefits of this ministry, which has shaped you to be a leader that you are today. You are able to speak in front of boardrooms, in front of people, in front of everyone that is full there because you have gained the exposure of fulfilling a requirement and standing in front of the church during Sabbath school and talking about the 28 fundamental beliefs and sharing a skit because this ministry gave you that opportunity. But we are not doing the same to our children. There's a Bible text that I love found in 3 John 4 verse 4. It says, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in the truth. There is no greater joy than going about your father's business at a young age. There is no greater joy than ensuring that children are safe under the shade of God's wonderful wings, because the world is entertaining them with things that are not constructive, things that will break them down, things that don't teach them about discipline, about patience, about saying please and thank yous. And you have this ministry that can offer that. Let's look at practical skills your children learn in the ministry. And the one that I want to emphasize on today is that this ministry turns requirements into lifestyle. A ministry that often starts as a job, it feels like a rule. I need to do this. I need to ensure that my child completes the homework that he or she receives to fulfill the requirements. I need to pay for the campouts. But if you keep going, something will change. Slowly that requirement moves from your head to your heart. The I should, I need starts to fade and it is replaced by I get to. When you start to teach your child how to prepare for Sabbath school, it feels as a job. I need to prepare this child to stand in front of me during the week and practice and practice and practice so that when he or she goes to the church on Sabbath, he is prepared. But when this is a requirement and now it turns to a lifestyle, you get to watch your children as they take their own Bibles, as they read the word from themselves, and they say, Mommy or Daddy, I've prepared. Can you sit down and listen to me? Now you get to see the fruits of your labor, turning a requirement into a lifestyle. What feels like a duty becomes a devotion. The job you had to do becomes the life you wanted to live. Because we are in the ministry of turning a requirement into a lifestyle. We give out the requirements as the club, as instructors, as counselors. But we need you also to assist us for them to understand that this is beyond the requirement. This turns your child into something stronger. When you have went through the Pathfinder ministry, best than believe you can live anywhere in the world, because the skills that you have taught is something beautiful. You have been taught things that will help you. Even if you can move to a different country, you are grounded. What was a requirement turns into a lifestyle. A child goes to university who was once a Pathfinder, who was once an ambassador. When you go, let me just make an example. When you go to the Pathfinder achievement classes, there is a requirement that talks about listing 10 qualities of a good friend. It is a lesson on its own. Then they write the qualities of a good friend. They note down what are the qualities of a good friend. When they go out in schools, when they go out to live their lives, they know the qualities that they should look for. Because that requirement is no longer a requirement. It's no longer about getting the pin and getting the honors. It is now a lifestyle. To say, how do I apply what I have learned into my life? And you as a parent play a huge role in coming into the picture and helping with that in your club. I'm going to talk about 4 things now. 4 important things that are practical that you can do to assist in the ministry. Number 1, focus on faithfulness, not just deadline as a parent. Guide your child to complete the tasks, but emphasize why honoring commitment to God and others over just ticking a box. Sometimes they feel as if I'm just doing this because I'm just doing it, but show them why they are doing it. Make them understand that they are doing a good job, that God will bless them, that God is happy, you are happy as a parent, and they will realize they are not just checking a box, they are fulfilling that requirement. Prioritize. This is number 2. You need to prioritize constant presence as a parent. Help your child attend meetings regularly, because this builds a routine and community and shows that their role is a priority, not an option in the club. It is painful to see parents making excuses not to bring their children because they have personal things to attend to. However, when the school sends out a letter to say this is part of a requirement, this is part of 1, 2, 3, they need to complete, they need to attend, we do it without thinking. Where do we put our God? Because if we are doing it like that, parents, we are really killing our children. When they do not get invested because they don't meet the requirements, then we say the ministry is unfair. But we played a role in that. The third one, support with actions and resources. Go beyond prayer as parents. Show tangible support by providing what they need, whether it's supplies, transportation, or encouragement. This proves that you are invested. You know, sometimes we are struggling as clubs because maybe we do not have the right connections. You are working in logistics. You are working in tourism. There is a camporee that goes somewhere. A director maybe does not know much about those things, about organizing transport and things like that. He only knows the guidelines and the safety protocols, but no connections. As a parent, you come in to show support, action, because you are in that space. You are working as a medical professional, and you know that the children must complete their first aids. You know that they must complete requirements. Instead of us struggling to outsource professionals, you help us by connecting us to the right people because you are in that space. As parents, we support not only with prayers, but with actions and resources, meaning financial resources as well, because we show that we care about this ministry and we are invested in the growth of our children. We are invested in that. The fourth one, champion every child. Advocate, I'm begging, advocate for all the children in the ministry, not just your own. This model of selfless love shows your child that this is about a community and not just a personal task. There are children who are going through a lot. But if we are there advocating for all the children, the child can afford to go to an excursion. What are we saying as parents? Can I take out that few extra money that I have to top up and assist this child? That's what you need to do. Your role is important in that ministry. Do not take it lightly. Do not take it as a by the way, because you are doing a beautiful thing. Now, as much as I can talk to parents, some of the parents are leaders in the church. But also you are listening to this because maybe you are also a leader in the church. You're struggling with parents, but I want you to look at the mirror. And as you look at the mirror, you see yourself as a church leader holding office in the church. And I want us to have a leadership reflection, because sometimes how we run our clubs, how we support our clubs, is the one that makes our parents not to support the clubs. And I want us to fix these few important things. We need to fix leadership continuity, because continuity matters. Let us not find that a club is a 20-year-old club, but every year it's as if it's a 1-year-old club just being established. Let us have systems in place. Let us have things, even if you are a leader and you have no plan for the year, but you have default events, your achievement classes. Those are things that you need to have so that there is continuity. Even if that leader comes in and adds flavor, you are adding flavor on already something that is already there. Something, you are just enhancing what we already built. Just beautifying. Because if we do not have leadership continuity, it is affecting us dramatically. The other thing that I've noticed as a church, I don't know, maybe you'll tell me, maybe it's not only here, but it differs from place to place. But I just want to emphasize this one, is that we need more male presence and mentorship in the clubs. We need men to be there. Because what are we saying about the boy child? Because we are there to groom them. We are there to guide them. Some are coming from a single parent home where there is only a mother. But when you are there as a father figure, you are there to guide and support, trying to close that gap. Because you are there as a spiritual father. As much as you're completing the requirements, there are some things that you need to fix so that the lifestyle of that boy child, of that girl child, is being fixed. The other thing, which is equally as important as what I've mentioned, the two things that I've mentioned, is that a delayed youth appointment weakens trust. When we do not plan successful programs, it weakens trust. It weakens that we are not professional. Let's have those things in place. Plan things on time. Communicate to parents. Have meetings with them. Get their input. Get their support. Understand their challenges and frustrations. Customize things so that it is comfortable to parents. And once it is comfortable to parents, best believe it will be comfortable to Pathfinders and adventurers because they are willing. What breaks my heart is that we act quickly for other church positions, not always for the youth. We need to be intentional with our selections of people working with our children, building up the future of the church. We are quick to elect elders of the church, deacons, women ministry, you name them. But the question is, have we done justice to those that are taking care of our children? That's the question I want you to ask yourself so that we can be intentional. You know why? If we are just doing things haphazardly, we are just doing things randomly, parents will realize something. You know what they will realize? They will realize that what we prioritize is what parents believe we value. Because if you value something, you'll prioritize it. And if we don't care about the ministry, parents will see it. And somebody will be elected loving the church, loving the ministry. But because parents have traumas of past leaders who were just picked haphazardly, you need to start from ground zero. Having a year or 2 years, depending on how your church is, to run that club. Hence I said, a club is 20-year-old, but it's as if it is 1 year old. The youth ministry is not an option, people of God. It is a foundation. And we need to be intentional in leadership continuity, active participation with parents, visible male mentorship, clear expectations and support, and shared responsibilities for every child. And once we do that in the year of 2026, and we are intentional about it, best believe that when all is said and done, all honor and glory will go to God. Because as parents, as leaders, we are intentional, we are active, we are visible, we are clear, and we share the same mission and goal. My hope and prayer is that God keeps you true and faithful to your calling as a parent and as a youth leader, to ensure that we are turning these requirements into your lifestyle. Thank you very much for joining us today. May the good Lord be with you, help you, and guide you. But for me, the Pathfinder Guru, I say you are dismissed with this powerful mandate.